This is a podcast presented by
Hard to Find Media.
Subscribe to Hard to Find Media on youtube.com/Hard to Find Media Network. This shit is free. Share it. Blast it.
Hello, you are listening to KAOP AM 1045, Seattle's hottest AM radio station. My name is Danny and this is Accents on Purpose, a weekly radio show dedicated to covering the ins and the outs of the city's DIY scene. This week, my co-host, making her triumphant return, is Nicole Zeller.
Hi, how's it going?
Not too bad, Nicole. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. I just had a really cool visit from my mom.
Whoa. Your mom was a former guest.
She's actually been on, I believe, the podcast with the most listens.
No, not by...
Okay, that's what I think in my head.
Not by a long shot. Sorry.
Sorry, Mom.
I think Mommy Longlegs has that.
Oh, a different mommy.
Yes, a different... You were right on the mom part.
Cool. I was really close. I just had a really cool visit from my mom. And I had a lot of high expectations for her visit because we had the best time I've ever had last year.
When you say high expectations, that's because you get her edibles?
Exactly. Last year when she visited, she really wanted to do an edible, is how she put it.
I was going to say, yeah.
I want to do an edible. And we went to the weed store, the edible store, and got some edibles. And they were 10% off because she got a senior discount. 60 years old and
60
over.
60 years young.
60 years young and over. Oh my god. Got that sweet, sweet drug discount. Did the edible. And I made her go to Babeland on the way home and buy a vibrator because she had never used one before.
Is she okay with you telling the world this?
She loves this story.
Okay, good.
She's a Catholic school teacher, and she told her Catholic school teacher friends at like a gala where she got tipsy. So I feel okay about it.
Oh, that's good.
But this year, we didn't do any drugs or buy any vibrators. All we did was, like, go to get sushi and watch the Great British Bake Off. But I had a really good time.
I think that there's a pretty amazing gift basket you can make her to make up for those two omissions. Which would be really great, like, the UPS person's delivering it as they...
We did actually go back to the sex shop, sex toy store, because I walk the store dog there. And when we went in, I was like, Mom, do you need another vibrator? And she says, no, I don't like them. They're too vibratey.
Oh, yeah.
That's that story.
That's that story.
Mom, I love you so much. How are you doing, Danny?
Not too bad. You know, something funny happened the other night, and I was at an SSDD master bedroom show at Pony, which is...
Ooh.
which was fucking awesome. Both bands killed it.
I'm really sad that I missed that.
It was a perfect show. Really good. Two good bands, all rock, no filler.
No roll.
But on the way home, me and my special lady friend were walking home, and just when we were getting from Pike to turn onto Broadway, this guy wearing a bicycle helmet and a long black coat said to me,
oh my god,
I know that look. He said that to me. And I was like, I didn't give you any look. He's like, oh, you gave me a look. And I'm like, I did not give you a look. He's like, yes, you did. And I was like, if I had any look on my face, it would be, how do I get rid of my girlfriend's hiccups? Because she just got the hiccups. And I tried to scare her and it didn't work. I told her I was pregnant. That didn't scare her. And so then this guy starts following us and getting closer and closer. And I got really upset. I wasn't afraid of him, but I was annoyed by him, and I actually insulted him, and then told him, I was like, "Listen, it's 1:45. You're invading our personal space. You have to stop doing this."
Good.
But the thing was, what he wanted, he was like, I know the look on your face. That's the look of someone who wants to see a magic trick. And he pulled out a deck of cards.
He obviously does not know the look on your face.
He does not. I never want.
Because that's a look no one has ever given anyone.
Yeah, and it was really annoying. And like I said, I insulted him, and then I told him that he just had to stop following us, which he did. And then a few minutes later, my girlfriend realized that her hiccups were gone, which is funny because that's actually something we would have paid him for. And if he would have just been, if he would have just read the situation correctly and said, "I will scare the hiccups out of you," then he would have made $5. And since that has happened, I've told that story, and several people have said they've encountered this person, and they've told me that his magic tricks are pretty good. That's not the point. The point is you don't creepily follow people at 1:45,
especially if you're wearing a trench coat
and a bicycle helmet.
That is so weird, but safe, I guess.
I think it's because he's been hit by so many people that he's just preemptively trying to protect his noggin.
Well, we saw him. Danny and I ran into him again.
Yes.
Well, we didn't run into him. We saw him through the window on Saturday, doing magic tricks on the sidewalk. Maybe. We saw him walking around. We did not see him doing magic tricks. He had the helmet on. He had the trench coat on.
But we didn't see him doing magic tricks. This is a factual podcast.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
True facts.
Nicole.
Yes.
Do you like to read?
Yes.
Do you like to look at pictures?
Yes.
Do you like it when those two things are combined into a comic book?
Absolutely.
Well, then you will enjoy this week's guest.
I can't wait.
One of Seattle's hottest comic artists is Tom.
I'm hot.
You're hot. So that's one of the things is there's actually a little bit of debate. So what would you call yourself? Are you a cartoonist, a comic artist? How would you define
some people use creator, which is like God.
It's like Alec Baldwin in that shitty Nicole Kidman movie.
I usually just say cartoonist, but sometimes
Malice?
people say...
That reference went way over my head.
Well,
sorry.
He's a surgeon who says he has a God complex.
Oh.
Anyways, back to Tom.
What up? Yeah, baby.
So you're a comic creator?
Oh, I'm a cartoonist.
You're a cartoonist.
I'd say cartoonist. Whatever you want to call me, it's A-okay. But people think
I know some people want to call you some pretty mean things.
Whoa! Who?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Okay.
You write and draw your own work.
I do, yeah. I write it all.
And you have a new book coming out?
I do, yeah. I wish I was joking.
On Poochie Press?
Yeah. Yeah, very. My imprint, Poochie Press.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Oh, you didn't know?
I thought
that's all me.
That was all you. Okay.
That's true DIY culture.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Self-published.
Thank God I'm here.
Thank the creator you're here.
So saying you're here, you are originally from Buffalo, New York, correct?
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
When did you move to Seattle, and why did you move to Seattle?
2009.
Well, I guess when in your life?
When in my life? I was about a year out of college.
Okay.
I went through a rough breakup, and I had a friend out here, and I visited, and I was like, well, this is not Buffalo. So
Indeed, it's not.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because they used to have that big sign at the airport. That's exactly what it said. You walked out. This is not Buffalo.
This is not blank. You fill in the blank.
Yeah. So I visited. I liked it. So I moved to actually about a block from here for the first few years I lived here. And I didn't write comics at the time. I went to school for art, but I didn't do comics. I wrote zines.
Wait, what did you go to school for?
Printmaking.
Printmaking, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's super cool, really useful, makes me a lot of money now.
Totally. Very cool.
Yeah.
What do you think the first zine was that you ever got? What
the first zine I got?
Or what sparked your really?
Oh man,
Danny, I noticed you abbreviated zine from fanzine, and usually say fanzine. Are you in a rush today?
My dad says Zine.
Oh god, fucking Zionist. I let people choose the words that they use. So he said zine, and so
Cool.
Yes, Nicole knows that I say fanzine because I'm really old.
Right. And you're not in a rush. You want to say the whole word.
I'm not in a rush, but he said zine, so
okay,
I'm
so you want to be respectful.
I let people choose the words.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I don't like to correct people. Unlike you love correcting people.
I do. I already had a correction that I wanted to make, but I was going to let you finish your story.
Thank you.
Even when sometimes you're wrong. But continue.
It's a charming attribute.
No, it's not.
Thank you, Tom.
I really love it.
Yeah, I know. I got to work on it.
It's people with low self-esteem trying to feel superior.
You're absolutely right.
To other people. But.
You're absolutely right. I'm transparent.
But back to Tom. Back to Tom.
Back to me.
Shop.
Yeah. I went about. I got into it probably the most pretentious way possible. I took a bookmaking class. and they went into like Fluxus artists making zines, and that's how I got into it. I grew up in like Ohio.
What part of Ohio?
Springfield.
Oh my
Okay,
god!
outside of Dayton, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. Hey,
yeah.
you actually know Springfield.
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah, so I've gone down there.
Yeah, Cleveland's great.
It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I enjoy it. But a friend of mine went to school in Springfield.
Wittenberg.
Yes, and so actually, I was in a band that played a show there.
Oh really?
What was that band called?
This is Tom's. This is Tom's.
Okay,
hour.
we'll come back to this.
Come back to that.
That's interesting. Yes, you saw Springfield.
Yeah, no. The first time I ever had a vegan milkshake was in Springfield.
Weird. Where was it?
It was 1999.
Was it a Strange Brew?
Actually, that sounds correct.
Because I moved my parent. I'm from Buffalo originally. I moved there when I was about 3 or 4, and then I lived there for 15 years. My parents hated it, and they moved back to Buffalo.
Whoa.
So they're back in Buffalo now.
Okay.
They
and
shuffled on back.
yeah, Strange Brew. I used to go there and smoke cigarettes.
Actually, I really do think it was called.
Yeah, no, that was
like
the only place in
institution.
Springfield I could think that would serve a vegan milkshake.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah.
If you've had a vegan milkshake, it's Strange Brew.
They let 14-year-olds smoke there. Pretty
Well,
cool.
that's Ohio. I think one of the weirdest things moving to Seattle was bars ID because like in Cleveland, no
Man,
bars.
Buffalo, I just like waltzed into every bar when I was like 19.
Teenagers drink at bars.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's no big deal.
Yeah.
No one IDs at bars.
Yeah.
I was a really obedient child, but I suspect in New Jersey you could just walk into a bar. and not get carded.
If you can answer that question, please email accentsonpurposepodcast@gmail.com or facebook.com.
Wow.
So you got into more zines, more like art type zines.
Yeah, my first zine, it was it was like short stories.
Yeah.
And I still have a couple copies if you want one. But
I love archives.
Okay.
So I
It's
love
old.
That. Oh, that's great. No, I would really like that.
Yeah, it's called Ground Cinnamon.
Ground Cinnamon.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
terrible name.
That's an interesting name.
Yeah, I did all of 2 of them. The second one cost $20.
Whoa.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, super cool.
High gloss? What was the...
It had like a screen printed cover and came with some prints.
That's fancy.
It was fancy. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, once I moved here, I've always done like websites too. I've always like written short stories on websites that nobody read.
Yeah.
And
wait, so before moving to Seattle, had you done any comics at all?
no. So what I did before was when I lived in Buffalo, I actually lived at an art space after college called Sugar City. It's still there, a different iteration of it. But I lived in an apartment above it, and I helped run that, and I did a hour-long performance called Rearing Your Tween, which was a parenting conference that I did a PowerPoint presentation of.
That sounds pretty fun.
I have a video of it. It's
what?
around.
If only we could show video on this
Yeah.
podcast.
No, I don't want people to see what I look like.
Yeah.
Me neither. This fluorescent lighting is not doing us any favors.
I think you're both very attractive.
Whoa!
Believe it.
Oh wait, Tom, you're attractive.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
Almost missed that one.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I would have been tossing and turning at night about that one. Yeah, so I did like this parenting conference, and that went over pretty well. Yeah. And then when I moved out here, I started working on one that I drew a picture for each slide, and it was a short story about going to Planned Parenthood.
That's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and that was my first comic.
Going there to use its services, or
So
going
I was
there
like
to
afraid of.
protest?
I was afraid of. Oh, so it's my comics.
Yeah. So wait, that's why I'm
Yeah,
a check.
it's
Are
like
you
kind of
someone who goes to Planned Parenthood to protest?
No.
Okay.
It was.
That was
It's
really
me
close
having
one.
which is a real life thing. I have like HIV panic every year or so, where I'm like, oh god, I have HIV. I have HIV, and then I go to. Yeah, well, I'm on Prozac now. Maybe that'll be better.
Yeah.
But
I mean, those are real fears.
Yeah,
those are real fears that
Yeah.
sexually active people have.
Absolutely.
And,
Congrats on being sexually active.
Well, once
Thank
I
you.
become sexually active, I'll probably.
when
worry
you're
about
older,
that.
you'll
Yeah,
understand.
when I'm older.
You'll understand.
But yeah, so I wrote this zine where I go there and I'm like my character who's like a complete fucking asshole. Yeah, it's satire, And that was my first comic, and I didn't do word bubbles. It was all. It's like the beginning of Scorched Earth, where I wrote underneath the panel. And when I was working on it, I kind of realized it was a comic, and that kind of coincided with me meeting some people in the comics community, like Mark Palm. I think it was the first person I met. Friend of the show, and Max Klotfelter, I met him, and Kelly.
Okay, wait. So wait. Before you get there, what was your Did you always have what was your opinion on comics? Was it?
I hated them. Honestly. No, I'm joking. I grew up. I liked Calvin and Hobbes, everybody, and golly, Far Side. I really liked a lot. I think I just was, especially in college, I was afraid of the amount of work that goes into it, because it is when I was in college, I would think of something I would like to draw, and I would draw it. Yeah. With a comic, it's like. You think of something, it's like you think of a story, and you're like, I have to draw every little thing in the story, and it's not fun. It's fun to draw if you can draw whatever you want. Yeah. And I kind of broke myself for drawing. I don't draw for pleasure very often anymore. It's mostly if I'm drawing, it's I want to draw something specific. Yeah. It's still fun to draw comics, but it's a different thing. Yeah. It's a very different thing, and that's something I had to learn. And I think that first book I did it's called A Matter of Life and Death, and that book kind of taught me how to draw all over again. And the drawings are really rough. And before that, I was pretty good at drawing, honestly. But now I look at it, it was so rough because it was just I could tell I wasn't having any fun. It was the drawings are a little poor me, my poor baby.
I have a question. So, did you go to the Planned Parenthood on Madison?
I've been to all sorts of Planned Parenthoods.
All kinds of Planned Parenthoods. Have you gone in? Follow-up question. And dropped off your zines, put them in the waiting room?
No, that one is out of print for good reason.
Because that would be good reading material. Personally, if I saw a zine about Planned Parenthood at Planned Parenthood, I'd feel good.
It would go in the garbage so quick there, I
think. No, what would be funny is if you just lied and you put that it was a government funded zine. Or that it was printed from a generous donation from Mitch McConnell.
What a great guy.
Oh yeah.
What?
No, you go ahead.
Oh, just what if Tom had been a protester outside of Planned Parenthood? Would this podcast keep happening?
Yeah, what if I was
it would take a turn.
It would take a turn.
It would take a turn.
I just listened to a thing today, The Daily. It's this New York Times podcast. And,
so a competitor.
Yeah.
That's fine.
This is a radio show, actually?
Yeah, no.
AM radio?
Yeah, that's right.
They interviewed the guy that runs Hobby Lobby. And
oh boy.
Yeah.
What a joke.
And they actually, they give that guy, it's pretty obvious, New York Times, a pretty liberal organization. But they let him talk, and he keeps coming on sometimes. And they interviewed him, and he just kept talking about, how he can't just take life. He's so afraid of taking life. That's such a moral quandary from him for funding.
Okay,
sorry to take things in a heavy way.
Let's get back to the doodles.
Yeah, but it was just he talked about it in such a creepy way. It's ugh, what a rotten human being. Anyway,
okay,
sorry.
So now we're all flippity floppity. So so you're in Seattle, and did you start doing comics and then met people, or that in the comic scene, or did you meet people in the comic scene and you're like, oh, I think I can start doing comics?
Yeah, so I really, it was me doing this first book. I did it all kind of independent of any comic scene or anything like that. I met Mark Palm at a thing called Bureau of Drawers. And he and I went to the Olympia Comics Fest, and I sat across from Max Klotfelter and Kelly Froh. And Kelly came over and bought a book.
Oh, Kelly's so nice.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Been on the show, yeah.
Yeah, but then through that, Max, I think, saw it. And when Max and I finally met, it was he was like, holy shit, you're Tom Van Deusen. I'm like, you're goddamn right I
am. Oh, you don't get to say that much.
No.
No.
You're goddamn right I am.
Well, actually, so there's a lot of things about me that I wish I could change, but one of them is if someone comes up to me and knows me but I don't know them, I'm immediately really on like the defensive, and it's really weird.
When does that happen to you?
Sometimes with the store, sometimes with a fanzine, sometimes with a podcast.
Someone will recognize you from the podcast?
Yeah.
Come on.
No, because we used to always post pictures of ourselves.
That's true.
For every episode.
Yeah. I was in some of those pictures.
Yeah, you're in some of those pictures. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I forgot about that.
But if someone comes up and said, like, you know, he's like, so you're Danny, and I was, anyways, I was going to go on a tangent, but I'm not anymore.
All right.
A lot of your comics, or almost all of your comics, maybe, have a fictionalized version of yourself, or something that can be construed as a fictionalized version of yourself.
Yeah.
But is an awful person.
Yeah.
So now, how did you create this? Like, is this the person that is this kind of like a Larry David thing, which if you could be what you wanted to be without repercussions, you'd be this person? Or is this like, I just hate... Like,
who would want to be that?
Well...
I mean, I think Larry David's character on Career Enthusiasm is this like fantasy of living in a world where he can say what he wants.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he says. He's like, that's not me. That's what I wish I could do.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's
Or is it like kind of like, because also like
Roberta Gregory.
Roberta Gregory. Because like her bitchy bitch is like, because that's kind of, I kind of think of you, or it's
like a male bitchy bitch.
Well, yeah, in a way,
yeah,
because it kind of is. It's kind of this guy who is a horrible person.
Yeah, which
bitchy bitch she said and did. Yeah, well, she thought. All of her stuff is thinking, but yeah, she thought like horrible things.
Yeah. You know, it's honestly, when I write stories. Like Scorched Earth was a certain character, and like EDD was a certain character. In this new book, it's not. It's a different. It's. I think the new book, it's more me than anybody, but it's kind of things happening to me, like the Jeff Bezos story, and the one about like a duck attacking me. So
wait, what? Did a duck actually attack you?
Sure.
I like how he didn't say yes. He said sure.
What the fuck? Of course.
But so the Scorched Earth story is it is kind of, he is a rotten person. And that's actually based on a zine I did called I'm Not Taking It Back Till You Take Me Back.
Whoa!
Which is about
that's a better song title than Breaking Up on Valentine's Day.
Damn.
Which the title is from going on a date, and this is how old this zine is. We go to Blockbuster, and I get a I get a Captain Beefheart documentary.
Oh,
on DVD, and we watch it together. And then she breaks up with me afterward. But we got the DVD out on her subscription.
Oh my!
So,
Mamma mia!
That's I'm Not Taking It Back Till You Take Me Back as a line I use.
That's a good one. I just heard a story kind of similar. My friend used to date someone in Portland, and her ex had a library book out, or she had the library book out, and then the ex took it and would not bring it back to the library out of spite. And
crazy.
She accumulated like hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Can't you just go and like say, I don't want to pay for the book?
I don't know, but it went into collections in Portland. They're very serious about it in Portland.
Bookman?
No. Of course I was thinking of Tropic of Cancer, but I didn't bring it up because I'd been told by my friend Danny Noonan that I referenced Seinfeld too much in real life. And I was just like, that's an interesting story. Can't bring up Seinfeld.
You can do...
Has nothing to do with a Seinfeld episode.
You can do whatever you want.
Thanks, Danny. I was thinking of you chastising me when I was listening to the story, and I held my tongue.
Whoa.
And I regretted it.
Well, once again, this podcast has taken a dark turn and has nothing to do with comics. Because, okay, so, sorry, keep going back to kind of like the beginning.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I've said a lot about people who make comics is sometimes, and this isn't everybody, but a lot of times people are either really good at drawing or they kind of have a good idea for a story. And rarely do those two things happen at the same time.
Yeah.
Which, it's very unfortunate. So when you since you kind of started doing comics a little bit later in life, after college, like stuff like that, Did you find it hard to pace a story? Like, I mean, because pacing is like one thing I like about your work is it's panel. It's like it's paced really well.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
You hit beats very well, and it's one of the reasons I really like your comics.
Yeah, it's timing. It's like writing. I think that's just part of writing.
So do you think like writing short stories kind of like?
Yeah, that really helped.
That helped?
I mean, I've been writing short stories since I was, my entire life. That's I've always had like kind of a dual passion for writing and drawing, and I think that's kind of what makes me well suited for comics. It also makes me well suited for a life of fucking poverty. I'm actually planning on going back to school for animation.
Oh,
because I think that's
Pixar.
Sure. That's
If you work for Pixar, email.
Yeah.
I always forget the email address.
Yeah, Tom at Facebook. Sure.
Tom at Facebook. Only one.
Tom at MySpace.
MySpace. What a guy.
Yeah.
That'd be really funny if like a bunch of like crazy weird post millennials decided to make
Post
I
millennials.
never want to hear you say that word again.
Well, it's 2 words.
That's disgusting. It's a hyphenate. One word.
If they decided they wanted to make MySpace cool again, so they didn't do Snapchat, they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They all just started doing MySpace
in like an ironic way. Yeah.
That's so weird because I've heard Tom from MySpace referenced twice this week.
Wow.
And I haven't thought or heard about him in at least 15
That picture
years.
of him in front of like a whiteboard.
Yeah. It's so weird.
It's not going to stop.
If you're Tom from MySpace, I'll stop saying that.
So now some of your comics have a real Seattle feel to them.
Yeah.
Like there's the one time the guy hires the like private detective or assassin or whatever.
Yeah.
It's that glows.
Yeah, and it's the second part's outside the Josephine.
Yeah, it's
the old Josephine.
Yeah. So, but in that, it looks exactly like glows. And so, why did you decide to do that? Because for people who live in Seattle, they're going to be like, oh, that's totally glows. But for people outside Seattle, it's just going to go over their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like putting something in a setting.
Yeah.
It's something I'm pretty careful about. As far as getting it right.
So, like, did you do that from memory, or did you?
Oh no, I actually took photos at Glows.
Okay.
I was there having breakfast and I took some photos
On the sly.
on the sly tip. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. But I like working from photos, and I like having it be a Seattle story or have it set somewhere.
Yeah.
It just kind of adds to it if you're from there, and if you're not from there, I think if I'm reading something, I'd like it to be, if it is a real place, it'd be cool to actually visit there and see it.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because you have to draw all of it and make sure it's like, an accurate representation of something. It'd be really easy to draw kind of a generic thing, but I think it adds to a drawing to use reference material. This is real technical stuff.
No,
but working from photos is like really important, I think, for
How often do you think you could do that, like percentage wise?
Every single setting.
So you're just taking surreptitious photos all over town all the time.
Wait, are you taking photos of us?
Yeah.
Is this button actually like?
Are you wearing Google Glass?
Yeah, this is Google Glass.
So you know what? Actually, the other day I wanted to make a Facebook post about. I wanted to say that I found some Google glasses at the thrift store and asking people if I should buy them, but I couldn't figure out a good wording because I think it'd be really funny now if you saw Google glasses at the thrift store.
They've been like defunct for like 2 years now.
That's why it'd be really funny.
Like the world decided that was a terrible idea, and that's gone.
Yes.
What thrift store would even sell them?
Somewhere in
What's
San
a joke?
Francisco.
I'm sorry, Nicole. It's all a joke. It's all a joke.
Life's a joke.
It's all a joke. All right. Anyway, so you're taking pictures all over town.
I use Google image search, and I use Google Maps a lot.
So do you ever have like a morgue?
Morgue?
No, that's what.
Is that what they call like a photo?
Yeah, that's what old cartoonists used to call their reference points.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that either, Danny. You're from a different generation.
Well, this is also from like even an older generation because they would like cut out things out of newspapers and magazines and just like, if I ever need to know what this looks like.
Got it.
Like,
that's really cool.
Yeah, and so they would like compile them. Like,
nowadays we have the internet, and I usually just Google it. Like for glows, I just use Google image search for the outside
Google
of it.
is not a sponsor of this podcast.
No. I used
Should
an
we ask
internet
them?
service provider. I looked it up on an internet search. I did an internet search for images.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were wearing just glasses that
Yeah.
had cameras in it. It's
I was-
not by any
I was using
specific
smart
company.
glasses.
Smart glasses, yeah.
So, have you ever seen your comics in a weird place that you didn't expect?
No. Distribution's difficult.
Yeah.
I would love it if I did.
There was someone on the podcast a while ago who she also worked at Half Price Books, and someone sold her comic back.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
To her while she was working?
She was doing the
Oh,
podcast.
Gina.
Yeah.
Yeah, she works at Half Price, or
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, she was on the show like over a year
Right,
ago. Oh,
yeah.
Actually, she's way longer.
Gina was one of the first people I met in comics in Seattle.
Her comics are great.
Yeah, and she helped me move once, like 8 years ago too. Good
Whoa.
person. I think that's a good standard. If you help someone move,
Yeah.
that you're a good person.
Oh, absolutely.
And one of the things is I always volunteer to help people move, partly because I just enjoy seeing their stuff.
Yeah?
I'm a tangible person.
Yeah.
I like to see their stuff.
Once I stored a lot of my crap in Danny's basement for a few months,
Yeah.
and he picked up my file of archives, my like flyers and papers and letters, and it's in a big accordion file, and he picked it up and he said, "This is some light reading for tonight." And I got actually really scared that he was going to creep down that basement and open up my accordion folder. You love archives. And so do I.
I love. Like
But you also respect privacy.
I do respect privacy, but I used to joke that I would love it if people, when they were moving and they had like paper to mostly paper is the only archives
Yeah.
that I care about.
Yeah.
I was like, just give it to me. I
Yeah.
would love it if my dream, which is now over, but was to live. Well, because now I live in Seattle, but my dream was to live in an old creaky house that was just like full of books and papers and stuff. Because I love books, I love papers.
My dream, which is now over.
Yeah.
The
dream,
Danny
like,
Noonan
That's it.
story.
Yeah, seriously.
So Tom, really quick question: how long do your cell phones last?
Oh God, I'm going tomorrow to go get a new one.
What happened?
Well, no, it's still good. I'm just due for a new one, and they designed the things to start, being shitty after 2 years. That's just like how cell phone technology works.
Yeah.
That's how they design it, so that every 2 years it's obsolete, and
But you don't have to get a new one.
I do. No, Honda told me to get an Android this time because I listen to music on mine, and the iPhone you can't expand the memory, which is upsetting for me.
Do you get work besides comics?
I used to do illustration jobs once in a while, and that's something I have a full-time job.
Well, I'm just like,
Yeah.
do bands approach you?
No, never. I did like a poster for the Summit Block Party like 2 years ago, but
That's pretty cool.
it's fine. Yeah, I did. I've never done anything for bands. I don't think. I don't want to do a lot of illustration jobs because I have a full-time job.
Don't email Tom.
Yeah,
Do not email Tom.
Well, I have a full-time job working as a customer service guy at a video game company, and when I'm done with that, if I'm working on
Pokemon
artwork, no, I wish.
Does anyone
It's,
play Pokemon Go anymore?
I think it's Honda does.
Okay, because I used to in Cal Anderson Park. There
I
was
know.
a hot spot.
Yeah.
for
About a
while.
year ago, right?
Yeah,
No.
it was about a
years
year.
ago?
No, it was 1 year ago.
Really?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it was 1 year ago.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Really?
Positive.
Really?
I think a little bit later. I'm just gonna
Less
say
than a year ago?
I'm gonna say a little bit. I think in like 2 months. I think in June.
It was the summer.
I think June,
So that's what I
July were
mean.
big. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it was the
All
summer
right.
because
Yeah.
I remember it was the summer because actually I remember it was the last Intruder party
Oh yeah.
was coincided when it was really really big.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
because I went to the intruder party and half the people were talking about Pokemon Go. And I'm like, oh,
And I bet you didn't like that.
What a flash in the pan that was.
what? Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. I fucking exactly.
Yeah.
It's fucking Google. You know what? Can you play Pokemon Go on your Google Glass?
I don't know what happened. It was so big for a little while, and then it went away.
I heard someone mention it the other day.
Well, okay. Well, then it's bad.
It's back.
It's back.
People
just
are already
like
playing
Tom
it
of
ironically.
MySpace.
Yeah.
He's coming back. So you work a full-time job.
Yeah, I
Do
hate it.
comment.
Yeah.
You hate working.
I hate working.
Ugh. Just working for that weekend.
Yeah, that's why I want to go back to school, is because I'm tired of, working some job I hate and making, $5,000 a year on comics.
Yeah.
You can't live off of it, and that's pretty high for someone that works in comics.
Yeah.
Really? Because I thought you made a lot of money in comics. Because I believe after Short Run, you were.
Oh, I was like blinging.
you were running around.
Short Run's my best. That's my bread and butter. Short Run, and yeah, I was like bragging about making a lot of money. And
Whoa.
Max didn't let me live it down. I'm sure Max talked about it to you or something.
No, you were like.
I did it to you.
You were like hitting me in the face with money.
With hundreds?
Wow, really?
Like ones.
Oh.
Okay. Not a onesie cat, yeah.
Well, you were one of the stranger wrote up if you're gonna go to Short Run, buy
Whoa.
this. And yours was one.
What'd
of
you
the
have to
things.
do to get that recommendation?
Oh,
Make
man.
a good comic.
Yeah.
Oh. Just checking.
Not everyone figures.
That's why I'm worried about having. That's why I'm worried about having HIV all the time. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you. Fingers their way to the top. God, I could never clean my brain out with soap enough to get that out of my head. Jesus.
So Tom, have you ever made an ambient techno CD?
Whoa! Why?
Have you?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
Not
I
in
made
high
a. Remember the program Fruity Loops?
Yeah.
I made a Fruity Loops album when I was in 7th grade.
Did you tell people? What did you tell people?
I made burns. Oh no! I must have been in high school. I burned CDs of it. So I was
What's
in
Fruity Loops?
It's like this very.
I'm sorry, I don't know what it is.
No, you can make beats and stuff.
Beats.
Yeah, it was
okay.
fun. I liked it.
Beats, beep boops
yeah,
and stuff?
I made boop boops.
Beep boops, okay.
Beep boop boop.
Beep boops
Yeah.
and you burn
I'm
it.
not a musician. I listen to a lot of ambient music. I like it.
Oh yeah.
Do you have some information that we don't know about?
Yeah, why are you asking that weird question?
Have you ever had a weird experience with a porta-john?
What does it have to do with ambient albums? But yeah, well, this is an alleged story. This might be just something I made up for comics or something.
Well, fine. Let's hear it.
But yeah, Max and I have been known to flip a John or two.
Whoa.
Flip a John?
Well, honey buckets, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I tried to call my first
This is
and only...
incriminating. They could just arrest me for this.
You-
This
you-
is alleged. I didn't
Yeah.
actually do this. I thought it was funny. This is something I just thought might have been funny.
It's like the urban cow tipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't actually happen. But yeah.
I tried to call my first and only boyfriend Honey Bucket as his nickname. He didn't
Woof.
like it.
You're just calling him a shitty John.
I
Yeah.
know. He was.
Oh,
Wow.
bam!
Damn. It's quick.
So, in all seriousness, if they were going to make a movie of your life, who would you want to play you right now?
Oh, that's a good question.
It has to be an actor working now.
Not like someone...
Not for you have 5 years.
Not like James Dean. I can't.
Yeah, you can't pick James.
Who do I want to play me? That's tough.
Is
I
there
have some
but
ideas.
is there a person that
Oh,
people
wait,
say,
I would like to hear those.
I know what you're going to say.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
What do you say?
What?
Hayden Christensen. Oh, sorry.
That's the guy that
People always
yeah
accuse you of.
that's the
Yeah.
doppelganger.
Yeah.
That's totally
What a rotten
right on.
what a rotten one.
No, he's a bombshell.
Well, he's also in the worst movies.
But he had
true.
nothing to do with that. He
Yeah.
took a job.
He needs
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Hayden
He's
Christensen,
Canadian.
yes.
Who is
Who
it
did
these
you?
Yeah,
Was
that's
your
true.
person Topher Grace?
days? That's one of the many I used
Okay.
to.
Okay.
I used to. Well,
Because I was thinking Topher
Oh,
for him.
Topher, yeah.
Topher for Tom.
Topher is like in between me and Tom.
Yeah.
If
Wow.
you combine me and Tom, you get Topher
Topher
grades.
for Tom.
Yeah, some
think.
sort of weird
Yeah.
genetic mutation.
Yeah.
That'd be heavy.
Did you have another actor in mind for yourself?
Well, no, it was people who, strangers or people I met say, you know who you look like?
Oh, it's always flattering when they say that.
No, it's always awful. I got
That's awful. I've got
Topher Grace, Tobey Maguire, fucking Harry Potter.
Oh, Tobey Maguire! Fuck, dude!
Harry Potter.
I used to get that all
That's
the time.
rough.
I had different glasses.
Come on. Oh, you did have those round wireframe ones. Yeah. I only know that from the pictures on your fridge. I didn't know you in the early 2000s.
So, Tom, where can people pick up your books? Wait, how many books are available right now? Let's name them.
Oh boy, the first one, Matter, Life, and Death, and I did Eat It Eat, which is...
Oh, wait, there's a different question I want to ask you. You had the first serialized comic in the Seattle Weekly.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Did you...
Kelton been bugging me, and I needed money.
So is his idea to do the serial?
No, it was my idea.
Okay.
He wanted to have me go to do something for them again.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I'd like to point out Kelton, friend of the show.
Kelton
Early
Sears.
guest.
Early guest.
Early
Big
guest,
friend of the
yeah.
show.
Wonderful person.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Kelton to
Yeah.
pieces. But he had been asking me to do something again for the weekly because I was actually the first person, I think, to do a weekly comic or a Seattle Weekly comic.
Yeah.
I did a strip that Kelton wrote, and I drew in 2014, and it was about Seattle's environmental issues in 2010. Or, I'm sorry, 2100.
Yeah.
And
A little switcheroo on the ones and the zeros.
yeah, sure, whatever. Transpose some numbers, but so that was like a nightmare to do. I just started this job I'm doing right now. I mean, it was tough. It was a shitload of work. It was I slept like 3 hours a night.
3 hours
for
a week. Oh my god.
3 hours a week.
Oh my god.
One
That's
on
like
Monday,
Leonardo-
one on Tuesday, one on Friday.
That's like
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci. Oh my god.
It's like eating one jelly bean a day.
Jelly
But-
button.
Jelly button.
I don't want to know what a jelly button is.
I want a jelly button. That sounds good.
That does sound good.
If you want to make a jelly button, email us. It's on purposepodcast@gmail.com.
Anyway, so I did that strip, and then like a year later, they started doing that whole.
I'm going. Yeah.
You've written strips for it.
Yeah, I've had 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 3.
I don't draw.
What's her name? Rochelle.
Rochelle. Rachel draws them.
Yeah. She's great.
Rochelle?
I can't draw a bit.
Yeah.
No.
I love her comics. I just
No,
put
her
that on the
comics are
record.
great.
Yeah.
Great.
So
She should be on the show.
she doesn't want to.
Oh.
She said she doesn't want to come on.
Breaking up on Valentine's
This is going to
Day.
be edited out. So.
All right.
No, last week, Fantagraphics put out a book.
Yes.
You want to talk about it?
I'm not in it.
Oh, you're not in
No,
it?
I did the cover
How
for
do you
last
feel about
year's.
that?
This year
Well,
was a bad timing.
so last year you did the cover, but the comic you submitted was from something else.
The Seattle Weekly.
Yeah. And I was actually, I bought that book last year. Oh wait, explain what the book is.
Oh, it's kind of like Record Store Day. They do Bookstore Day,
Independent Bookstore Day,
yeah.
and Fantagraphics,
Yeah.
legendary Fantagraphics. This is the second year.
This is the second year.
The second year they have a comic anthology of local artists that they sell. It's pretty cheap. I think it's like $10.
Cool.
Oh, I think it's less than that.
Okay,
I
yeah.
think it's like 6 or 7.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's really inexpensive. It'll be at LA Bay Books. It'll be at the Fantagraphic store. Wait, this is last week, but it'll still be there. And it's just a bunch of comic writers. And I remember last year I bought one, and I was like, oh, Tom reused something, and the formatting was a little weird too.
Oh, that's not my fault.
There's a lot of white space.
That's
on your
not my
page.
fault.
There's
That's
a
not my
lot
fault.
of white space.
I'm not
going
gonna
to
say who did it, but I submitted it, and they constrained so I sent them. This is technical, but I sent them something that they could have stretched, and the person who did it knows that they did it, and it's fine. I'm not like upset about it. I drew the cover for it though.
Yeah.
I drew a
re-gifted
beautiful drawing
the
for that
comic.
cover. It's fine.
So who drew the cover for this?
It's Honda.
No.
She's a fabulous illustrator in Seattle.
Yes.
Who's
She's
Honda? You've been mentioning them a lot.
She is a girl I used to date.
Whoa.
Now Nicole's happy.
Have mercy.
We're still good friends though,
Cool.
but she's a fabulous artist.
Cool.
The cover looks great. Yeah. The cover looks
It's great.
So yes, this was a week ago that this came out. This podcast is happening live. But there's probably still copies
On AM radio.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go to Ellie Bait Books or to Fantagraphic Store and pick up a copy.
I was under the impression that there would be a dog present at this this AM radio recording because there was a dog.
Poochie Press.
No, not Poochie Press.
Poochie Press.
Because-
Wait, why Poochie Press? Do you want any alliteration as a tribute to old Marvel?
I think it was what? Poochie is the name of the dog on The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, he's a surfing ninja.
That was it was a reference to that.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
I started that to put out a book by Dennis Eichhorn like 3 years ago, and since then I've only pretty much used it. I put out a Kelly Froh book, but other than that, it's all been my own self-published stuff, and I just kind of use it. It's self-publishing is great because you can get something out really fast. Like if I was actually gonna do this, I wish I was joking book through another publisher, and which having another publisher doing something is great because you don't have to worry about distribution and you don't have to worry about printing the book. You don't have to worry about review copies or anything like that. But at the same time, it's like you have to kind of work on their schedule. And I just finished this book. I literally I just finished it today.
So where can people pick up copies of this book? In person and online?
At this time, it's going to be... in a week, it's still not going to be available. I'm going to be at TCAF, the Toronto Comic Art Festival.
Do you have a passport or enhanced license?
I have... I just got a passport. I have an enhanced license already, but I just got my passport renewed, so I can go fly from Toronto to Vancouver. Because I'm going to the Vancouver Comic Art Festival, which is 1 week after.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a lot of Canucks.
Busy.
Mm-hmm. The Toronto one's great because my parents live in Buffalo, which is about an hour from Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
And I love...
What about domestically?
Domestically,
LA,
it'll
maybe?
be on... I'm going to LA to go look at schools. And I'm going to be... it'll be at Meltdown Comics in June, like June. But before that, Phoenix Comics, I have to stock comics there. www.poochiepress.net is...
P-U-C-C-I?
Ooh,
Yeah, that's how you spread...
Mamma mia, that's how you spell it in Italian. I put you in opera.
It wasn't .it.
Yeah.
Mamma mia, how do you spell it? P-O-O-C-H-I?
You got it.
Oh, mamma mia,
Yeah.
that's not how the original spells it. Oh, no.
Wow. This could be ethnically insensitive.
It's okay.
She's Italian, so...
Oh, wow, okay.
And they also have, never been oppressed, and they're white people, so it's fine.
Wow.
They're white oppressors, it's fine.
Well, but Italian Americans have never... there's a time when they
I
were considered
know
white.
some choice words I won't say on the radio.
Please don't.
But there's old census forms that say white, Irish, Italian.
Yeah.
In America, Italians.
I think for the most part, as a culture, Italians are white oppressors, so they're doing fine, and I feel very comfortable.
Wait, have they
making
ever
fun
had
of them.
any colonies?
They've colonized Ethiopia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Also, the Romans were all over
well,
the place.
Romans. I mean, come on.
Roma is in Italia, Danny. I don't know. What are you talking about?
Tom, where in Seattle do you like to get coffee?
Oh, boy. Broadcast coffee down the street from me.
I thought that closed.
No, it's still there.
It's
on
19th?
Yesler.
Yeah,
Yesler
Central
and 20th.
District broadcast.
Oh, that's where I live.
Yeah, the other broadcast closed.
Yeah.
They closed.
Yeah.
19th and Yesler. Very
19th
nice.
or 20th.
Whatever.
Do you do work there, or you just hang out there?
I just go in there for coffee once in a while.
So you do all your work at
I have a studio.
You have a studio?
Yeah.
Okay.
In my apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like a den?
It's kind of like a den. You can call it den.
Okay.
I have a nice setup. I've always.
So can you do work anywhere else, or you have to do it? It's that's where you're most comfortable.
Yeah, it's like I was talking about having reference material and trying to put a setting to things. To do 2-point perspective, a lot of times I have to tape paper to the sides of things, so it gets a little large. And it's technical, but to get like rulers and stuff out to draw, it's nice to work at home.
Danny,
Wait, what were you gonna say?
where do you get coffee? I haven't heard your dollar for drip in a long time, or maybe ever.
Yeah, where do you get coffee?
Where's your favorite coffee in Seattle?
Actually, we're out of time. I want to thank Tom for coming on the show. Nicole, thank you for coming back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, this has been another week of Actions on Purpose. Buy Tom's books. Nicole,
I like that.
If you have a dog, Nicole can walk that dog.
That's a poochie, actually.
Oh.
If you have a poochie, I will walk it.
And so next week we'll be back. Goodbye.
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 Look, Scratchy, it's our new friend, Poochie. What's that name again? I forgot.
The name's Poochie D, and I rock the telly. I'm half Joe Camel and a third Fonzarelli. I'm the Kung Fu hippie from Gangsta City. I'm a rapid surfer, you the fool I pity.
Oh, Poochie is one outrageous dude. He's totally in my face.
Interesting.
Music and podcasts. I listen to a lot of
Yeah.
podcasts.
What podcasts do you listen to?
Why are we talking about
Yeah,
competitors?
really.
No, we're not. We're
I
not.
wanted to hear someone say accents on purpose.
Accidents on purpose.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's awful.
This has been a podcast presented by
Hard to find media.
Subscribe to Hard to Find Media on YouTube.com/Hard to Find Media Network. This shit is free. Share it. Blast it. Fuck it.